What's up everybody and welcome back to the channel. In today's video, we're going to be starting a new series called Airman Movie Reviews. And in this series, I'm going to be reviewing different movies or episodes of TV shows that have to do with military elements. So whether that's joining the military, already being in the military, and or depicting military conflict, I'm going to be reviewing different movies or TV shows in that realm just to see what I think about them and just to, do something fun on the channel. So, before we get into our first movie review, which of course is going to be 1986 Top Gun, let's cover those basics. My name is Michael Inman and I'm an airman in the United States Air Force. I upload videos on Mondays, so if you like military and or Air Force content, and now if you also enjoy movie reviews, make sure you hit the subscribe button below and also turn the notification bell on so you know when I upload brand new videos. Now let's get into reviewing Top Gun, published or came out in 1986. So, first we should do, since this is the first video in the series, we should cover some formatting rules. So, first I am going to give a very brief, spoiler-free review of a film, and also cover if you should see it, stream it, or skip it. Those are the three options I'm generally going to stick to, just because I like that they all start with S's, and they seem to provide the general options that you would take. Now, of course, if you're watching this way in the future, I don't think you can go see it in a theater. But who knows, maybe there'll be a theater in your hometown that's doing a throwback week or a throwback day where they are showing the original Top Gun or any other movie that's no longer in theaters. This will still provide instruction on if you should go spend the money to do that or just watch it on your TV, watch it on TV and or your laptop or phone. And or skip the whole thing. I saved you time, you're welcome. So we're gonna start off with a brief spoiler-free version, and then we'll jump into kind of the more dense, spoiler-full, spoilery, with spoilers, asterisk, review of the movie. And so, finally, I will wrap up with why I chose that option. So if it was go see it, stream it, and or skip it, I will give you a clear why I chose that option, but you do have to kind of watch the spoiler-full version of the review to get that context, because I don't want to ruin stories for y'all who don't want the stories to be ruined. Yay. And the final note is these reviews, because they're reviews, it makes more sense to watch them if you've seen it. I love living life on the edge. You're always allowed to just watch this review, have a few spoilers here and there, and then go check out the film if it sounds exciting. I understand that way of going about things, but in my head, this is a little bit more oriented towards people who have seen the movies, because then you're able to join in on the discussion. So if you agree with the point I've made, feel free to let me know. If you totally disagree and thought I left some critical things out, feel free to let me know. However, maybe put a little asterisk or something so that people know it's spoilery. But then again, it's a movie review, so why would it not be spoilers in the comment section? You make your own decision. Let's jump in to Top Gun. So, to summarize Top Gun, which was released in 1986, it generally is a story about a very talented pilot who has a chip on his shoulder because of reasons which will not be confirmed or denied here. He is selected to go to Top Gun, which is a naval school for fighter pilots who are the best of the best, and that school is meant to make sure they are even better. So this specific Navy pilot, Captain Captain Pete Mitchell is sent to Top Gun school. Him and his, friend go to this school. They start being taught. He meets, I guess, his arch nemesis, another student, which of course he's competitive against. Eventually, a tragedy takes place that really rocks his world, and he has to decide if he wants to continue on with the program, and really, does he even know if he's meant to be a Navy pilot? That's kind of the big what's he gonna do moment. And then finally, the movie concludes generally with him making that decision, things relatively resolving, and a lot of like 90s or 80s music. That is the spoiler-free, like, top line version of what Top Gun is, and to be honest, it's a stream it. You do not, I mean, you can go see it in theaters if you're really trying to, but after watching the movie, which I think was over an hour and a half, I walked away being like, okay, better than average, definitely better than average, but do I need to tell my friends on the internet to go spend their money if they have the opportunity to? Like, go spend money to sit in the theater and order popcorn and like Coca-Cola. No, it is not worth it. So if you're curious about why I chose that, and or you've now officially seen it, you paused the video and came back after watching it, and or you saw it a while ago and you want to see if our opinions align, let's jump into the spoiler full review of the 1986 Top Gun. So as you can tell from the table of contents, well, the first question is it aging well? Now, I was more concerned going into this film than I actually needed to be after finishing the film. I was very concerned there were going to be a lot of like locker room talk jokes that were like not okay. There were still some moments that I was like, I don't know about that. But there weren't as many that led to me having an experience like the whole time I was like, this is so uncomfortable, this didn't age well, question mark. I will say most of the reason I would question if it's aging well is more of the directorial and cinematic, let's go with that, cinematic choices that are being made that were, I bet, fads or trends during that era of shooting films. So, of course it aligns with the next topic, but why is everything in sepia? You know the Instagram filter that you never really use? I don't even know if it's a real filter anymore because it was like one of the basic ones that like phones provided to you when like photo editing became accessible to like a lot of people. Whatever era that was, sepia was like a basic filter that you had access to. And it's that one that looks reddish brown. And again, you usually will just flip past it. It's also accessible on Snapchat and I'm sure on TikTok and Reels if you want that aesthetic. But yeah, literally the beginning of this movie is sepia on overload. And I'm like, what are you doing? Why are you in this film in 1986 trying to make it look like an even older film? I guess they were trying to make it feel nostalgic to like even earlier than the 86. They were trying to throw it back, like all the way back. So, anywho, that was odd. But yeah, there were just a lot of like editing choices that were just a little weird. Like the music choices are super 80s, super loud. Also very like, is this a joke? Like, I know everyone who is a big fan of Top Gun loves the Highway to the Danger Zone song. But if you really watch it in today's, like through today's lens, if you go watch Top Gun, you're gonna be listening to the lyrics of the song being blasted while there's like jets flying off of a aircraft carrier in the middle of the ocean being like, you really thought you were cool. Like they really thought they were cool. And I'm like, can you calm down? This is a gimmick. That's the word, it's a gimmick. So that's the thing. The jokes were not as offensive as I was scared they were going to be. Some were still off color. But the more is it aging well, I would say no, it's not. It's because the gimmickiness of this whole film is even more noticeable in today's like universe. Next, as we already talked about, there's sepia everywhere. I don't know if it's sepia or sepia or sepia. I don't really know how to say it. You think I would have looked that up before recording, but we're too deep. I'm not stopping this film. So, I don't know how to say that, but just know it's really red and brown for no good reason. Moving forward. Maverick, oh Maverick, oh Maverick. That's the main character played by Tom Cruise. He needs an attitude check. Like this character is cocky and entitled. You learn out later on that he's, I guess, cocky because he's cocky, which is just never really ideal. Like no coworkers want a cocky coworker. You're just like, you entertain it for a while and then you're like, you're annoying. We should stop inviting him out to parties, thanks. Anywho, so he's really cocky and he is entitled because we learn later on in the film that his father was a very, very talented fighter pilot. So he has it in his blood, or his name is known within the Navy, fighter pilot, historical situation. And so that has made him a little bit entitled. And then also he has something to prove. When you have a name behind you and people are always going like, Is he actually as good as his father? He now feels in his psyche that he has something to prove. So that was annoying. Like when they're building the character in the beginning of the movie, so let's say, you know, Act 1. Act 1, you lay out the characters, you lay out where they are, what's going on. I think it's very obvious that most people would be like, this dude is a douche. I don't want him on my team. He's a dick. Like what? What is wrong with you? Can you be nicer? Is that possible? Can you be talented and nice? Wow. I guess back then that was not a concept, that you can be extremely talented and good at your job and be really, really kind. So, anywho, he needs an attitude check. That was a little, that grinded my gears a bit. Next, I will address that in this movie, it's young Tom Cruise. Because it was in 1986 and we're now in 2022 at the time of recording this video. Like, young Tom Cruise, he did have that thing. I'm not talking about the character, I'm talking about the actor. He did have this little charm about him. Like, I know there were moments in the movie that I just said I was getting irritated at him, but later on in the movie, when you start to understand more of the layers of what's going on, and him engaging with other characters, I'm like, okay. And then he gives a little smirk every now and then. I'm like, okay, Tom, it makes sense that you were cast. It makes sense that your career has had some longevity, other than some other things working in your favor. But it does make sense, because there is this charm about him, and he does play the character as well as, you know, if he's playing charming male leads who disarm people around him, okay, that's probably Tom Cruise in real life. So I got it. You are charming, I'll give you that, and it makes sense that you've had a long Hollywood career. Next item, wingmanship. Now, wingmanship, if you don't know, is the term in the Air Force that pretty much encompasses take care of the person to your left, right, behind you. Just take care of your wingmen. If you're on a mission together, defend their back and they'll defend your back. Do what's right. Keep their interests and health and well-being in mind while you're thinking of yourself. Be good to the people around you. That is wingmanship, and you learn a lot about it during basic training. So, I would say that one of the coolest moments where wingmanship was displayed, even though they're Navy, so seamanship, anywho, one really cool moment in which wingmanship was displayed was when pretty much Tom Cruise is trying to pick up a girl at the bar, and him and his, what I would call wingman, literally say, hey, we're gonna do this maneuver, this play, and they have a code word for it. And the wingman goes, oh, I hate when we have to do that. But long story short, he starts serenading this girl at a very busy bar. So everyone's seeing this go down. He starts serenading her as if he put a coin in the jukebox and starts singing it. He sings it to her, and then literally all the other sailors in the bar just literally start singing with and start making a moment, which is such a cool thing to do for their wingmen. Because clearly this is like a thing they've seen during, you know, pilot training school, or during, you know, when they were becoming officers. So maybe when they were at, you know, an academy. Clearly this is something they've seen before with their wingman, Mr. Captain Mitchell, aka Maverick, right? So clearly it's been done before, so it was just really cool to put a smile on my face, to be like, we've known each other for forever, we have such good camaraderie and such like good vibes between us all. One of our wingmen is gonna shoot his shot at this girl. We know the play. When he starts singing, back the boy up, we're all gonna start singing, and literally, as to be expected, the girl he was doing this for totally had a smile on her face as well. So I just loved that example of wingmanship was shown, because I related to it. Because, I don't know, like I said, in the Air Force, we call it wingmanship. And so there's these moments where your boys, or by boys, it'd be boy or girls, your wingman got your back, and you just feel kind of like a part of the team, like, wow, I'm grateful for you all. So that was clearly showcased in that scene. However, that does bring me to the next topic that falls under wingmanship. Captain Pete Maverick Mitchell, you know I can't get his name, right? So, Captain Pete Mitchell, aka Maverick. I'm sorry, but he's not a great wingman in the sky. He's absolutely trash, like, as a wingman in the sky. He's quite concerning in the sky. Like, there's a quote that a lot of, like, fly people, I guess, use. Well, really, it's used in business as well. But it's, don't do anything dumb, dangerous, or different. when it's go time. So if you have practiced a presentation, your whole team has practiced a presentation for like weeks because you have this huge presentation, your team has to present to the CEO. And it's a huge opportunity for your team and everyone that's on your team back in the office you're from. Now, why, after rehearsing it for weeks, would you do something dumb like partying all of the night before the presentation? That's dumb. Why would you do anything dangerous, which it doesn't quite apply to this situation in a business setting, but still in aeronautical settings, flying planes, don't do anything dangerous that could lead to skidding, could lead to you losing control of the aircraft. Don't do any of those things. And then finally, for the metaphor, don't do anything different. When it's time to do the presentation, don't randomly be like, you know what? I'm gonna tell more jokes. We've not practiced it even once, but I have a gut feeling today I need to throw some jokes into these slides. It just feels right. I know some of you are going, hey, trust your gut. The point is, the quote is, don't do anything dumb, dangerous, or different. Because the odds are now against you because you've rehearsed so much as a team for you to just cause your entire team to be like, I'm sorry, what is my coworker doing? Why would he say that joke? That wasn't funny. Are we flailing right now? Are we failing? What is going on? Why is he or she going rogue? Oh my God. So now you're causing panic in all of your peers. It'd be different if it was your presentation. Listen to your gut. Change things up. Do what you want. But people are relying on you because it's a team, and for you to do anything dumb, dangerous, or different, you're effing up. Well, guess what? That's the kind of pilot that Captain Pete Mitchell was. He always was doing something dumb, dangerous, or different, regardless of his wingman being literally in the air with him, meaning anything he does dumb, dangerous, or different, it could have an impact on their safety and their ability to fly their plane in a way that is, safe, aligned with the mission, and will get them home, when they're supposed to be home. So that was extremely frustrating because at least, I don't know, I feel like in the modern era, it's more emphasized, like, don't be too showy because we'll ground your, like, big Air Force, big Navy would be like, that's funny. I'm sorry, did you pay for that jet yourself? Are you going to like give the eulogy at a funeral if you cause one of your coworkers or co-pilots to have to veer off because you're doing something stupid and then they veer off dangerously close or into a mountain? Are you gonna handle all that? Okay then, you're grounded. Turn in your wings, thanks. That was something that was frustrating. During the movie, he definitely displayed some poor like wingmanship decisions. He was not being mindful of the other people in the air with him. And so just when you become a pilot, whoever's watching this, don't do anything dumb, dangerous, or different. Be a good wingman, do what's expected of you, and as always, do it very well. And the last thing that we have to talk about with Top Gun, which was released in 1986, is this, the way I describe this category of what we're talking about is a PhD in messy. So the main love interest in this film for, our Captain Mitchell, pretty much she has a PhD and she's an instructor at the school. You should see two clear issues with this story right from the get. Do you see them? First of all, what is she doing engaging with the student? I want to understand this. How in her right mind did she feel it was appropriate to engage with a student? Like, everyone knows don't do that. You're not even like a teacher that's not teaching them. Like if it's a university, like, okay, it's a teacher, but I don't have that teacher. That doesn't make it better, but it makes it like, I feel like the person making the choice, they feel they have more grounds to argue that situation than if they're literally teaching the student. That's harder to argue. Neither are ideal. But she was actually teaching, our main character. So that's messy. You're being messy. You both are being messy. It's not just the teacher, it's the student too. You're being messy. Next, she has a PhD already. Now you have a PhD and you have this kid who I'm assuming he clearly has a bachelor's if he's a pilot in the Navy. At least currently you need a bachelor's. I presume back then you needed a bachelor's. So you're what, maybe 22 to 23? And this instructor has a PhD, so I'm quite confident you're between 26, 29, maybe even 30. We don't know. So why are you even entertaining this? I mean, who am I to judge love, to be honest? But I'm sorry, you have a PhD, so why were you so distracted by another student? You see different students every term. This random kid who has a bachelor's degree, when you have already gotten your highest form of education in what you have studied. Like, I don't know. I guess maybe it's because he's a very good pilot and he's at this super competitive school, but you're still teaching him as a student. So all of this is inappropriate. So this whole thing was a PhD course in messiness. I didn't approve it. It was a mess. I don't know what was going on. I was very like, all these decisions don't make sense. But I will end it on a good note. The good note is that their banter, the two love interests in Top Gun, they had cute banter. They had a very cute, thing. After you got through Act 1 and started getting into Act 2 where, problems are being, introduced into the script and there's kind of the whole how is it going to be responded to, you do start to like them, I guess, as a duo. I still don't know if I endorse it because, well, I don't, because she was his instructor. Conflict of interest. What? But I will respect that their banter, their energy, their playfulness was very cute. So the casting made sense and the way the script was written was well done in creating their vibes. That wraps up our review of Top Gun 1986. It is not called that, it just really was released in that year, and I need you to realize that and be like, where is this film? He can't be talking about this film. No, really, it's that old. So yeah, when you're looking for it, when it says, when was it released? 1986, that's the one. Enjoy it. In conclusion, it was an above average movie. I didn't wish that I had my time back, so that's a good sign. I wasn't blown away. I don't think it'll blow you away, but hey, you may really connect with this plot and the way it was told. This story was told and displayed. So I would say stream it. I know it may be on Netflix currently, and in the future, who knows where it'll be. Probably able to be purchased on an Amazon or a YouTube. So check it out if this sounds like a movie that you would like and or you've always been interested in it. And if you have already seen it, definitely put in the comment section below what your thoughts were. Specifically on my opinions. Did you agree with them? Did you not? And or just your thoughts that were top of mind if you're going to watch it soon. When you watch it, definitely come back and let me know. Secondly, what do you think should have been done differently? So if you were in the director's chair and or the cinematographer's chair, or let's say a producer who's providing insight and funding, what would you have tweaked with Top Gun? And lastly, if there is going to be another sequel, what should that sequel have? Let me know in the comment section below. Again, if you liked today's video, make sure to subscribe, leave a comment below, and don't forget to like. Also, if you want to see more of this face, I am on Instagram and Twitter at Michael A. Inman_. I will see you guys later, and I wish you a great rest of your day.